Hello learners, Quality Engineering and Management. The week 3rd, video number 10, the topic is Quality Measurement System, presented by Dr. N. Venkateshwarlu, Associate Professor, Mechanical Engineering, School of Engineering and Technology, IGNOU, New Delhi. Introduction. Learners, still now we have learned various concepts of quality, inspection, quality control, quality assurance, TQM philosophies of quality gurus such as Deming, Juran and Crosby's, and also studied the Kaizen just-in-time concept, Kanban's continuous quality improvement, total productive maintenance and zero defect breakdown, 7 quality management tools, 7 new QC tools and TQM implementation approaches, and now we will learn about quality measurement systems. Learners, objectives. After listening this video lecture, you should be able to understand quality measurement system, explain cost of poor quality, discuss improper time management, describe lack of scorekeeping or measuring service quality. These are the various objectives. Quality measurement system. Measurement is the process of assessing the performance of a product characteristics or process parameters. The measurement of a quality system provides feedback of the process so that adjustment can be made to allow the operations to continue on its current course. In recent years, quality measurement has become as important as practicing and implementing TQM. This because installing TQM demands huge investments. So nowadays the TQM has gained a more name because its implementation become, and those who implements a TQM, they gets more benefits. So this TQM has to be implemented. So there is a need for measurement of any process, measurement of parameters of a particular product performance, and how to get, without measuring this through feedback or through various tools, one has to measure the characteristics, quality characteristics of a product. Then only we can feel that the quality of that product or quality of product performance is going very well. So that is the need of a measurement system, or measurement is the process of assessing the performance of a product characteristics or process parameters. Therefore, the organization expects a good return on investment, that is ROI. When results are less than satisfactory, the temptation is to blame the training or the whole total quality movement. This section shall discuss 3 major root causes as to why some companies do not receive sustainable return on investment from their TQM efforts. So here what they are saying that those who implement TQM, but even though they are not getting the return on investment, so for that there is a need for the quality measurement system. So wherever if it is any process, so there is a need for measuring that process, is it going in a correct manner or not. So that is the quality measurement system. One has to identify causes why the return on investment is not up to the level. So they thought that after TQM implementation the return on investment will be more, but there is no because by measuring only you can able to understand the return on investment is okay or not. So if there is no any quality measurement system, then you cannot able to understand about the return on investments. So that is the importance of a quality measurement system. High cost of poor quality. So the price of any product or service is driven by profits and total cost to produce. The total cost to produce can be broken into 2 categories. One is theoretical cost and another is cost of poor quality. So here they are explaining that if any product is producing, the cost will be involved. So it may be anything, it's a mobile, it's car, it's watch, or it's a computer. So anything we are going to manufacture, the two costs are involved. These are theoretical costs and then cost of poor quality. Theoretical costs are the costs associated with doing only the right things right the first time. So any thing we are doing, so one has to pay for that. So that is, if it is good, that is known as a theoretical cost. For if we are producing a correct material, for that we are paying something, that is known as theoretical cost. But cost of poor quality, what is this? The waste or non-value added cost is referred to as a cost of poor quality. According to quality gurus such as Deming, Juran, Crosby, etc., the percentage of COPQ is 20 to 40% in companies. What this guru saying, that the cost of poor quality's percentage is about 20 to 40% in manufacturing companies. So what is actually cost of poor quality? So the waste we are producing or non-value added cost is referred to as a cost of poor quality. The cost of poor quality, this cost of poor quality is due to high cycle time, long development times, high defect rates, poor productivity, excessive inventories, training without return on investment, lack of customer focus, and many other non-value added activities. COPQ serves as a metric or scale to measure the amount of waste generated. So it is a scale. Cost of poor quality is a scale. For that, through that only we can able to understand where we are where we are lacking, in what process we are lacking, what is the lacuna in that process, why we are producing non-value added items or non-value added activity we are performing, or we can say that poor productivity we are achieving. So there are various reasons. Because of that we are getting a cost of poor quality. One has to pay for the poor quality. So that is known as a cost of poor quality. In order to survive global competition, the company must come out with a lower and more competitive price. Figure 3.9c shows that the company has cut down its expenditure in order to attract customers, removing 1/3 of its workforce and selling of non-profitable assets have made the cut in expenditure, that is figure 3.9, cost of poor quality. This ensures the company a profit margin, but it has done very little to cut the COPQ. In other words, the company has not put emphasis on waste reduction and proper metrics. The company that will survive competition is depicted in figure 3.9e. It has cut its COPQ. It is shown in the units very nicely. That figure, you can, by reading the units, you can understand better. The key to competitiveness and survival is tied to reducing the 20 to 40% waste. Lowering COPQ is a difficult strategy in the short term, but it is the only way to long-term profitability, competitiveness, and ability to bear hard times. So cost of poor quality one has to reduce, but at a time reducing it is difficult. So sometimes the companies will do that thing. They want to remove the employees, those who are not performing, or sometimes the machines, outdated machines, they can sell it, and they want to reduce the cost of poor quality. So by keeping more inventory also, it becomes a cost of poor quality. Like that, they have to identify and they have to reduce the or they are to lowering the cost of poor quality activities so that they can improve upon and the cost of poor quality can be reduced. Improper time management. So this is the second reason. The second reason for not receiving the return on investment is a claim by people in industry that they do not have enough time. This claim can be verified by drawing a Pareto diagram. A Pareto diagram shows that the major part of the programs may be caused by small number of possible causes. So the Pareto diagram already we have discussed in quality management principles. Here also you can see that by designing or drawing a Pareto chart, one can understand the causes. A small number of causes or will give more problems. So like that one has to identify through drawing a Pareto chart. So consider the case of fire department in an iron and steel factory. If the company spends majority of its time on fighting fires in the blast furnace section, it leaves little opportunities for the management to instruct the employees about quality measures. There might be a situation also in which new technology cannot be installed because of frequent fires in the blast furnace. Suppose here what we can do, it is a blast furnace, there high temperatures will be there. So the new technology cannot be implemented or the various reasons. So always the firefighting is taking place, employees are involved in firefighting and to produce the steel. So but they are not able to identify what are the reasons it is taking place and they don't have the time to think about. So that is the reason they are not able to maintain the time, improper time maintenance. So how to identify those problems through the cause and effect diagram or the various or by training the people. Such a situation is shown in figure 3.10a. Thus the scientists, engineers, technicians and operators who although have gone through a proper training do not have time to implement what they have learned. A manager must learn where his people are spending their time and then develop a way to increase the amount of time spent on quality improvement procedures. Figure 3.10b illustrates that a majority of time is allocated to teaching and training the employees about fire prevention, such as education is the first constructive step towards quality improvement. Although the installation of fire prevention program cannot completely rule out fires, lesser fires indicate the more time and money is saved. The time saved is utilized for managers to bring forward the new quality schemes. The third aspect of the return on investment problem is that lack of scorekeeping. The third aspect of the return on investment problem is that fact everyone in the company seems to be talking quality improvement, but no one is keeping score. Many corporate vice presidents claim that they are not getting the needed support from middle management. Common sense would indicate that they are not keeping score or at the very least not keeping the right score on middle management. So there is a problem between understanding or why they are not keeping the score. For any activity one has to measure or is performance up to the level or not, is the machining process is going in a proper way or not. Some score one has to maintain, some score or some rating one has to give, then only one can able to identify the lacunas or they can identify the problems in that, then they can improve upon. Suppose a machine is performing, actual machine performance maybe it is 50%, but it has to perform 80%, then why it is not performing? If we record that if we read that, then only one can identify those problems. Otherwise, it is not possible. So that is the scorekeeping, or we can say that scorecards. So that one has to maintain for each operation. So then only one can find out the problems. For example, if middle managers are responsible for processes that have computable measures of quality such as defects per unit DPU or COPQ, they should be plotting three measures over time. If a plot of DPU or COPQ appears as shown in figure 3.11, it will be difficult convincing anyone that the process demonstrates quality improvement. The scorecard does not show it. The scorekeeping is mandatory to prevent the quality routine from becoming nothing more than mere practices. Keeping score must be used in order to know how the process is doing. That is, whether the efforts are bringing the company to a winning or losing position. In addition, management must ensure the scorecards are implemented in a way that motivates the people to ethically play to win rather than motivating them to falsify data to avoid looking bad. Figure 3.12 depicts the winning scorecard. Measurement of service quality. Now we have learned about the manufacturing processes, how to measure those manufacturing processes. What are the two methods we have learned? One is scorecard, then time management. So now we will apply this measurement of service quality in a service industry. How the quality will be measured, how the measurement will take place for improving or measuring the quality in services. So the service sector we are thinking about. The service sectors are like that. You can say that hospital industry, schools, colleges, or hotel industry, the service industries, which the banking, which are known as a service industry. The quality in a service industry is a measure of customer satisfaction. So how to measure those customer satisfaction? If the service provided by the manufacturer meets the customer expectation, then the service provided is excellent. Otherwise, it is a poor delivery or poor cost of quality. Service quality measure will be in soft or hard. Hard service quality measure are computer downtime, telephone calls answered, etc. Then soft service quality measures are customer satisfaction. So there are different two types of we can say that customer satisfaction will be measured in hard and in soft. So these soft is in the sense one has to understand customer need. Customer satisfaction measurement. It is a systematic process for collecting customer data. Example, surveys, audits, etc. Analyzing this data to make it into actionable information, driving the results throughout an organization, and implementing satisfaction improvement plan. Thus, customer satisfaction measurement is a management information system that continuously captures the voice of the customer through the assessment of performance from the customer's point of view. So how we will measure the customer satisfaction? Through various methods, that is surveys or audits, or by maintaining the customer records, customer data, or maintaining management information system about customers, how they are feeling about our company, how they are feeling about our company's product performance. All these things can be maintained, so that then only we can able to measure the customer satisfaction. Such as measurements will be made by using any of the following methods. One is surveys, formal and informal feedbacks, use of customer account data, and customer complaints. So surveys are nothing but we will conduct a survey through questionnaire based surveys, or sometimes directly going to the person, and we can ask some questions and get the feedback. So that is the survey methodology. Then formal and informal feedbacks. These are by designing a questionnaire, or just like asking the questions to the customers, or collecting the information through whenever the customer comes to the company. There we can take the feedback from the customer. That is informally. Informally we can take the feedback from the customers. Third one is use of customer account data. So one has to maintain the customer's account data. So then only we can able to understand what they are feeling about our product. Whenever he comes, are we providing the services in time or not? That everything we have to maintain the data about a customer. So that is also very important in this measuring a customer satisfaction. Then customer complaints. So customer complaints also one of the measure of a customer satisfaction. If any complaint comes, how we have to react to them. So how we have to solve those complaints of the customers, that one has to measure. That is a measure of a customer satisfaction. However, surveys is the most commonly chosen method due to its effectiveness and economy. Customer satisfaction measurement will enable us to understand how customers perceive our organization and whether our performance meets their expectations or not. The customer survey methodology will give that information about the customers, how they are feeling. Are we meeting their requirements according to their requirements or not? That we can be able to measure through this customer surveys. Then benchmark our performance against other organizations. So benchmarking of if our performance is up to the mark or not. So or we want to achieve the level of our performance or our quality improvement with the highly performing industry. So we have to suppose highly performing industry is its quality measure is more than 80%, and if our company's performance is 50%, so we have to achieve that 80%. How? So through benchmarking practices that we can achieve. So this is also one of the method of improving or measuring the customer satisfaction. Identify priorities for improvement areas where improvement in performance will be produce the greatest gain in customer satisfaction. So this is also one point where how to improve the customer satisfaction more. So there are various objectives are there. So in that one has to prioritize. So which will be better one for satisfying the customer. So prioritization also one of the important aspect. Then set goals for service improvement and monitor progress against a customer satisfaction index. So progress also one has to monitor. So this is also one point. Then increase profits through improved customer loyalty and goodwill. So once the customer we will be loyal, the company should be loyal to the customer, then only our goodwill will be increased, because once a customer is satisfied and is loyal, so he will inform to his friends, companies, or in his relatives or something, so that our market, our sales will be increased, or then our goodwill will be increased. So these are the various points. Then survey process. So how the survey process takes place, or how to conduct a survey process. The customer satisfaction survey usually conducted for the purpose of listen to the customer. This survey will help to find out the reasons for customer dissatisfaction, to find out the focus of attention for process improvement, to determine whether TQM implementation efforts have worked, and to determine the success rate of TQM implementation, etc. So through survey methodology we can find out all these things, to find out the focus of attention for the process improvement or TQM implementation, all these. There are two main methods of gathering information from customers. Qualitative method, this method provides feedback from customers on soft measures such as opinion and give the organization an opportunity to probe customers' feelings and attitudes on an in-depth basis. Typical qualitative techniques include user panels, customer groups, and personal interviews. Then quantitative method. This method allows the organization to quantify customer opinions in a numerical fashion. Typical quantitative techniques include telephone surveys, self-filled questionnaires, the monitoring of complaints, etc. These are the quantitative methodologies. Customer satisfaction level with any particular process is influenced by the various dimensions linked with that process. Similarly, the overall satisfaction level is also depends upon the achievement level of various processes. Importance and performance mapping and implementation plan. So another data presentation device that many managers and find appealing is the importance performance map. The idea is derived from standard quadrant analysis as had been used for many years in business strategy. In general, this approach argues we should be most concerned about those issues for which importance is high and performance is poor. This yield the greatest potential for gain. Another set of valuable recommendations could be drawn up from the analysis of importance performance matrix. If the matrix has 4 divisions in which values of different dimensions will fall in. Depending upon which division factor is located, certain actions could be suggested. If any factor is placed in a low importance and high performance quadrant, the cost reduction program must be undertaken for that factor. It is imperative for any service sector to undertake the task of monitoring customer satisfaction for its own survival and growth, and thereby to boost market goodwill. Some case study example, this is an airline company A conducts surveys, provide valuable feedback on its market, customer satisfaction level, customer experience on other airline services, and trends in the standards of service provided to its customers. The feedback provided in terms of the service ratings obtained from its customers helps it to ascertain where it stands on the service quality performance achieved. Any gap revealed between the level of service provided against the company's standards will necessitate corrective measures by the department concerned. So wherever any, according to standards, if the airlines is satisfying the customer, then no problem. If any lacuna is there, they able to come to know that by through this various survey methodology, so that the corrections can be incorporated in the future. That is the case study. Learners, I hope you understand the quality measurement system, high cost of poor quality, improper time management, lack of scorekeeping, measurement of service quality, customer satisfaction measurement, customer survey, importance performance mapping, measuring service quality performance, and a case example on a service quality performance. I hope you understand all these things. So